I would say as a Marine, you learn the history of the Marines that were attacked in Beirut. We lost a substantial amount of Marines. It was a crazy incident. And we hear about these incidents that would happen around the world as Marines that you learn about, but you never thought it would actually happen in America. Obviously, we were aware about Pearl Harbor. I've had great uncles that were at Pearl Harbor that survived it, and they would tell me the stories. They actually told me not to go to the Marine Corps because they were in the Navy, and I completely went against it. But with that being said, I was just completely shocked by it. But one thing also I'd like to say that is a complete change, and this is just what's on the surface, is just the actual landscape of New York, right? Mayor Adams likes to talk about New York being a brand and an image. But when we think about the image of an old postcard of New York City, you would see those iconic Twin Towers. And if you looked at a postcard today, it would be a different picture. So just that alone, the landscape has changed. And what else has changed? And John, you and I are talking about this. I love you to reflect on this, is the Patriot Act. So what I'd like to say is, right, the Patriot Act really changed everything because it permeated into something that we never thought it would become. John, what was your impression of the Patriot Act when it came out? What was your perception? Did you think it was something good? Did you stand by it? I think most people did. But what was your take on it? You know, you're a real smart guy when it comes to politics and your perspective on things. What did you think about it at the time?
You know, I was a young kid. I was all for it. You know, I said, I don't do anything wrong. You know, why do I care if the government listens to my phone? I'm not a terrorist. Why do I care? You know, we're out here to get terrorists. You know, like these people are trying to kill us and destroy our way of life. Never thinking about, I didn't know the statements. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know, I didn't know the true intentions of the founding of this country, you know, and the basis of how you can't give up liberty to have safety. And if you give up liberty, you wind up giving away your liberty and still not having safety, because safety in reality, to me now as an adult, as a man, and you know, I felt like this for a long time, you know, but safety to me is an illusion. It's not real. Nobody's safe. There's no such thing as safe. You're never safe. I don't care if you own a pizzeria. I don't care what your job is. I don't care what you do. You're never safe. You're in places that are safer, but your next breath might be your last one. So at the end of the day, our nation has a constitution, the United States Constitution. And that's what makes us uniquely different from every other nation that's ever been created on the earth, is that we believe in individual liberty, and that those individual liberties hold true in pandemics, in terrorist attacks, in moments of time, in anything. And I was a young, dumb kid, and I was all for the Patriot Act, and I said, who cares? And I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing, John. Let them listen to me. I don't care. Plus, being in law enforcement at the time, I was always looking at it from the angle like, well, we need more tools. How could you allow this to happen? Where was our government? Nobody could figure this out. Where's the intel? Nobody knew that, you know, with all the stuff going on, nobody knew that this could have happened, because they were planning this for years. But the Constitution and our freedoms is one of the reasons why these other countries hate us. They hate America. Unfortunately for Americans, a lot of those things are being withered away. And they talk all the time about amending the Constitution. And the climate certainly has changed, not just from how they treat police now and how cops are treated, but how Americans are treated. They're turning a lot of their stuff that they're supposed to be using to protect Americans, they're turning them inward to monitor the good people. But you got people burning cities down, burning police precincts, and nothing happens. You have those two lawyers throwing Molotov cocktails at police. They got a year in jail. And they're going to be out. They're not going to do a full year. So the climate changed where we no longer go after real criminals. And the Patriot Act and the NSA and all that other stuff, they're still being used, but the government has turned them inward, and it's infuriating.
Yeah, unfortunately, the resources and the tools that we have to monitor outside sources that could potentially hurt America have been sources that eat us from within. And even back then, like John said, I was 21 years old when the plane attacked on 9/11, and at the time, I didn't really understand politics in the manner that I do now. I understood legislation, executive body. I understood how this country was built. I took pride, especially being a Marine, and also I was a history major in college. But I never really got into the depth of really understanding politics and how it actually affects us. Even as a Marine, I think it took for granted our freedom and understanding how politics can be, I guess you could say, weaponized to actually hurt us from within. That there's actually people in this country that want to bring it down. It's just disappointing. But what I think is so impressive sometimes that we actually reflect on, especially as a history major, that when this Constitution was created, that our forefathers were so intelligent that they understood the magnitude of people, even without technology then, right? And the resources that they didn't have, they understood people, right? John, I think it's so iconic that you're wearing this shirt right now. It says, "We the people," right? We the people, that's one thing, no matter how much technology we have, people, and they understood back then that people have demonic views. People can have views to tear down this country. So it's pretty present. Really, we have to reflect on that. And could you imagine if we had those same men writing a document today? I mean, they would just be applauded by what's going on. They would say, "Where's the courage? Where's the men? Where's the leadership?" Because that's what this country thrived on.